Hi all, welcome back to a new session of Appreciating Drama. Today's topic Today's topic, that is the Zoo story. It's a world famous play from the third module. Okay, this Zoo story is a one act play by American playwright Edward Albee. His first play, it was written in 1958 and completed in just 3 weeks. And the play explores themes of isolation, loneliness, miscommunication as anathematization, social disparity, and what do you call the disparity, social disparity, and dehumanization in a materialistic world. Today, professional theatre companies can produce the zoo story either as a part of Edward Albee's At Home at the Zoo, it's originally titled Peter and Jory, or as a stand-alone play, and its a prequel Home Life written in 2004, however, can only be produced as a part of Edward Albee's At Home at the Zoo. And the plot summary of the Zoo story. This one act play concerns two characters, Peter and Jory, who meet on a park bench in New York City Central Park. And Peter is a wealthy publishing executive with a wife, two daughters, two cats, and two parakeets. Jory is an isolated and disheartened man and desperate to have a meaningful conversation with another human being. And he introduces on Peter's peaceful state by interrogating him and forcing him to listen to stories about his life and the reason behind his visit to the zoo. The action is linear, unfolding in front of the audience in real time. The elements of ironic humor and unrelenting dramatic suspense are brought to a climax when Jerry brings his victims down to his own savage level. Eventually, Peter has had enough of his strange companion and tries to leave, and Jory begins pushing Peter off the bench and challenges him to fight for his territory. And unexpectedly, Jerry pulls a knife on Peter and then drops it as initiative for Peter to grab. When Peter holds the knife defensively, Jerry charges him and impales himself on the knife. And bleeding on the park bench, and Jerry finishes his zoo story by bringing it into the immediate present. Could I have planned all this? No, I couldn't have, but I think I did. Horrified, Peter runs away from Jory, whose dying words, "Oh my God," are a combination of scornful mimicry and supplication. Then next one is the use of symbols in Edward Albee's The Zoo Story. Okay, it's a new topic, that is the use of symbols in Edward Albee's The Zoo Story. The Zoo Story is marked as a new development of American drama in a way in which Edward Albee blends symbolism with naturalism to realize his theme. And symbolism means the representation of an idea, person, or thing by something else which recalls it by some analogy or association, and it thus implies an indirect suggestion of ideas. In the Zoo Story, symbolism is a part of the very fabric of the play, functioning within as well as enlarging its surface meaning. And the Zoo Story has a greater depth of feeling and experience and is more original in its conception. And the zoo constitutes the central symbol of the play and is an image of human isolation and absence of contact and communication. And it is an apt and poignant symbol. The zoo story is concerned with the human isolation. The world is a zoo. with everyone separated by bars from everyone else. That is, men are not only separated from each other but from their own basic animal nature. It's very important. The zoo story is concerned with the human isolation. The world is a zoo. Underline that the world is a zoo with everyone separated by bars from everyone else. That is, men are not only separated from each other but from their own basic animal nature. And the play opens upon Peter, who is seated on a bench in the park, and he is the modern version in middle class stereotype and who blends perfectly into the brightly packaged emptiness of the modern landscape and the bars which separate Peter from his own nature and from other people are the material goods and the prefabricated ideas with which he surrounds himself. And while Peter is separated from the animal in himself and others, and Jerry is an animal who fights separation from the other animals, and he is determined to discover the essential nature of the human condition. And he has a strong box without a lock, picture frames without pictures, and the what do you call the pornographic playing cards that remind him to the difference between love and the sexual need. And we can also represent the symbols of Jerry and Peter as a traditional Christian's symbols. This is Jerry or Jesus, a 30-year-old outcast whose purpose is to establish contact with God, and who is a colored queen who wears a kimono and plucks his eyebrows. And there is a Peter, Saint Peter, okay, Saint Peter, an average world living who is stripped by the irresistible Jerry or his material goods and led toward a revelation of truth. And the jury has lived for a short time in a rooming house on the west side, and the gatekeepers of the rooming house are a foul woman and a dog. The foul woman symbolizes the lustrous, and the description of the dog immediately identifies the dog as Cerberus, and the monster all black with the flaming eyes who guard hell. And the dog attacks Jerry only when Jerry tries to enter the house, but never when he comes out. And the dog considers the house his domain just as Peter, and later in the play, and considers the park bench which he has appreciated his, and both Peter and the dog are willing to fight to the death any invader of their territories. And the jury's failure to attain love by giving bribe to the dog with hamburgers symbolizes that we cannot buy love or understanding, nor can we establish real contact by any easy means. And from time to time, LB gives the audience broad clues to his symbolic equivalence to that his meaning cannot be mistaken. And Jerry has taken the first step in a journey that will lead him to the realization of what it is like to be essentially human and to be an outcast. Finally, realizing the futility of trying to reach Peter with the words, and realizing too the fragility of the vision of a truth that has flashed before Peter's mind during the tickling. And Jory dies for Peter. And he dies to save Peter's soul from death by spiritual starvation. And Peter will be forced by Jory's death to know himself and to feel kinship with the outcast for whom Jerry has prayed. And what LB has written in the Zoo story is a modern morality play. and he chooses all the symbols that carry with them a wealth of meaning, but that yet do no violence to the naturalistic surface of his play. And the theme is the centuries old one of human isolation and salvation through sacrifice. And man in bionatural state is alone and a prisoner of self. And pretending that he is not alone, and he surrounds himself with the things that what do you call that ideas that bolster the barrier between himself and all other creatures. And the good man first takes stock of himself, and once he has understood his condition, realized his animality or and the limitations imposed upon him by self, and he is driven to prove his kinship with all other things and creatures. And in proving this kingship, he is extending his boundaries, defying self, and proving his humanity. And since the kinship of all nature can be recognized only by the animal who has within him a spark of divinity, and he finds at last if he has been completely truthful in his search, and that the only way in which he can smash the walls of his isolation and reach his fellow creatures is by an act of love and a sacrifice so great that is altogether destroys the self that imprisons him, and that it kill him. And I'll be in recreating this theme, he has used a pattern of symbolism that is an immensely expanded allusion to the story of Christ's sacrifice. But the symbolism is not outside of the story which he has to tell, is the more story of a modern man and his isolation and hope for salvation. And Jerry's tragedy is not just an individual case, and he is a universal symbol of the alienated modern man. And the Jerry's tragedy is not just an individual case, and he is a universal symbol of the alienated modern man. Okay, and this is all about today's class about the zoo story by Albee. Okay, and today's work that is to find out some questions, or to find out the answers of some questions. Like first one is, what does the zoo symbolize in the zoo story? And next question, what is the genre of the zoo story? Genre of the zoo story. And is the zoo story realistic? And these three questions are to find out. Okay? And that's all about today's class. And thank you. Happy learning. Thank you all. Thank you very much.